Good morning, everybody. I'm out in Eagle Heights, right across the street from Eagle Heights Park with Eric Weiss. And Eric has been involved in the street project out in Eagle Heights that began back in March. And I just wanted to give people an opportunity to see what a project like this is like. It's almost a $5 million project. It's complete street resurfacing. It's a complete redo. All the water, all the sewers. Well, I shouldn't say all of it because there were pieces that were found to be still in pretty good shape. But did a survey and decided to work on this project in Eagle Heights. And we're going to get a chance to see the different phases of it. The first thing that has to get done is the infrastructure work, the underground work. They come in, all the sewers, all the water mains have to be replaced that need to be. We did not replace all the water mains out here, is that correct?
All the water mains were replaced. The sewers weren't completely.
The sewers weren't.
We would identify any offset joints or anywhere that lining needed to be completed to rehabilitate the sewers to make sure that they're in good operating condition. Something else that we had done actually right behind us here going through Eagle Heights Park, one of the cul-de-sacs had a single feed dead end main and a dead end water main. So the water would sit in that, and only the small usage of the individual homes in that area. So we were able to observe an efficiency in water quality and redundancy looping of our water main system to install that water main through that park and create a loop for that Ruth cul-de-sac. And just another something that has been observed as a improvement over time.
And constant improvements in technology as this is done. It's not just a replacement, it's an upgrade. Once the infrastructure is done, the next phase from our standpoint, they came and popped out sidewalks and removed sidewalks. And some of these, as Eric said, were old. They had marked, some of them were in pretty good shape, so they came by with a can of spray paint and painted a dot on them. They're going to save those pieces of concrete, so trying to be frugal with money. And they come by with a big piece of equipment, reaches out and will snatch up a piece of concrete like this, throws it in a truck. And now all these pieces are taken, a lot of them are recycled, they're recrushed and ground, and they get reformed back into road bed or
roadstone.
And they become part of a new street. And then they came and do the sidewalks. One of the last phases for us, and probably the most disruptive for the neighborhood, is the curbs, gutters, and the driveway approaches. That means you can't get into your garage, so you have to park across the street. And again, for some people, I can tell you on my personal experience, when they took our curb out, they created a ditch that was probably 1.5 feet wide and about almost as deep, and it rained. And that ditch had about 8 inches of water in it. So we're looking for places to cross. So there are some inconvenience that goes with this, but it's all worth it by the time that it's finished. One of the things we hope to be able to show you today is the way that they pour the curbs and gutters now. Back in when I was a young fellow, I worked construction, and one of the things that was part of one of the jobs that I would have to do is set forms and tear them down. And all of these were formed by hand, and was plywood. And we're talking to the engineer here, and up until about 10 or 15 years ago, that's the way that it was done. Now they have a piece of equipment that comes out, and it creeps along about the speed that they can dump a cement truck into this thing. And it's like, I always look at it like a cake decorator, because this curb comes squeezed out with no forms. It's really thick, heavy concrete. It holds its shape, and a couple guys will come along with trowels and smooth out the imperfections. Once the curbs and gutters are done, the approaches are done on these homes, it gets kind of back to normal. They come by and they strip off, mill off the old street and the blacktop that was there, and get down to the bed of the road bed. Come back, replace that as needed. They come and grade it off. They'll roll it, and they roll it flat. And like I said, that was a big improvement for me. That was about the best road I've had out here in 10 years, was that dirt road. And so that was the first step, and the last step is to put the first course of blacktop in. So Once it gets that far, then people are starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. This project is going to go on until November. There's still a lot of work to do here. They have to finish a couple of streets. There's work to do along Royal Boulevard that has to be completed, the south side of Royal Boulevard. And the last thing that'll be done is this. They've graded this off. As you can see behind us, there's a pile of dirt all the way down the block, and that has to be removed and but to be graded back off, and then they're going to come back and we'll have to replace the grass. Thank you, Eric, and hopefully get some good video for you to see what the construction project looks like in its different phases. So thanks a lot. We'll look forward to talking to you again in a month.